Guys, want to go over a clip that we have from this season. This game happened back in February where we had a player intentionally drop down while a skater was skating backwards and take him out, intent to injure. A couple things here that we want to bring to people's attention. A couple things regarding positioning that I think will help people and with video see exactly what we're trying to get across for everybody to help make your lives easier when on the ice. So without further ado, I'm going to go through this video. I'll stop at certain points to bring up the points of emphasis that we're looking at here. If you have any questions, please send a comment on the YouTube or feel free to reach out to us at Seacoast. Be more than happy to answer any of your questions to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So play gets stuck in the neutral zone, and then we start to move in. Puck gets dropped in. Our first issue here is our positioning with R1. Play's already been seen as good. It's not offsides. There's no reason that we should be gliding up to the blue line here. We should already be tailing it down to the goal line to get in position here. Same for R2. R2 should already be up to the red line at this point. It's incredibly important how our presence is felt when we're in position. With both guys not in position here, there's no presence. No one knows what's going on with the officials, and we could be possibly missing something important. With R1 getting stuck up there, he still doesn't make it down, and now the puck's coming up the wall. Now he's in trouble. So now that our partner here, R1, is in trouble, we see R2 with his back up against the wall. We need to remember that we should be always 5 to 10 feet off the glass and 10 to 15 feet behind play. In this case, we're definitely not 5 to 10 feet off. I don't mind how far away we are, but I would appreciate to see our R2s somewhere in between the L and the I over here to make sure that we have presence, especially seeing R1 coming across and getting stuck here. This is a great opportunity for R2 to look at R1 and give him the eyes to get out of there and to take coverage and to zoom down to the goal line. Play moves out. R1 thankfully doesn't get injured, but we now have a great call from R2 here as White just got the cross check. He starts skating towards it. That's great. And here we go. We have our major penalty. I love that R2 immediately kills play. There's no need to continue play. We now have 2 on White. And I love how he starts skating towards the player. Let's continue on. So as we can see here, the player pushes our referee when the referee makes it over to him. Our issue is, and what we need to avoid doing is, when we skate to the player, which is what is part of the protocol, we need to make sure that we do not put our hands aggressively on a player. We have to remember the emotion and the factors of the emotions of the player when these things happen. It's just like a fight. These players are currently seeing red, and we have to be careful because at that point, they're defending themselves against anybody. We need to be skating in the way that this referee did. I think that was a great way to get to the point of where the fire was. He gets in between black and white, but instead of putting our hands on White, I would much rather you shield him from the other team with your hand in the air and communicate to the other team to stay away from him because he's got the penalty. Don't do anything stupid and ruin the power play opportunity. By doing that, we don't have to put our hands on anybody. Now, if White turns around and starts skating towards black, then yeah, we need to grab him, and our partner needs to get over there as quickly as possible to get in between and get black out of there as well. Luckily, White leaves, which is great. But the next thing here we want to do, as we see, the officials need to start taking control of everybody on the ice. Everybody's screaming. We don't know what's going to happen. At this point, once we get the player who is the troublemaker off the ice, our next job is to get all the players on the ice back to their benches and make sure no one else starts any problems. The last thing we need to worry about is the puck or going to the scorekeeper's booth to announce a call. So again, once we get the player who's the trouble or players off the ice, our next step is controlling the players that are still on the ice, get them to their benches, and then the referees come together in the referees crease and communicate with one another what each person has and how we move forward in making a call to the scorekeeper. The issue as to why we should be doing this is because referee who made the call is already now at the scorekeeper's booth. What if R2 over here, that's still in between these players, had something extra and we missed the call because we've already inputted, a penalty? Take your time in these situations. Remember, the clock is running. The clock is on your side. You don't have to rush. Take your time. They want to be idiots on the ice. Let them waste their time. So we get the players back to the benches. You both come together. Make sure you're on the same page with making calls. Then we assess our penalties. We communicate with whom we need to. We get one guy to the location to drop the face-off, and off we go. This is our entire video. Again, we want to make sure that our positioning is always in the right position. We're not putting ourselves into trouble. And if we do get in trouble, we want to make sure that our partner is being aware of this and helping our guy who's stuck get out of the hot spots so no one's getting any stitches or big lacerations. We don't definitely want any of that stuff. Second thing is, we need to make sure that we aren't putting our hands on the players. We have a strict guideline that players should not be touching the referees. It goes the same way in return. So without further ado, this is the video. If you guys have any questions, please ask us. Be more than happy to answer any additional questions that you may have watching this video. And we look forward to getting the next video out to you guys to help show you guys the standards that we're looking for and to help better your game so we can try to avoid these situations in the future. Thank you.